This game has been a long time in the making. This is the second edition of the game. It came to Kickstarter. It was delayed massively, partly because of COVID, but Magpie Games at last have brought to us Urban Shadows, second edition. It's been a long time. Is this game going to be worth the amount of money that you're going to have to pay to get your hands on it and find out if it's worth it? Welcome to the GMS Magazine RPG review videos. I interviewed Mark Diaz-Truman, one of the authors of Urban Legends 2nd Edition, a little bit ago for the podcast. So I am very familiar with what this game is indeed trying to do, but I haven't shown you what this game looks like or is about yet. So first and foremost, let's dig in and find out if the production values are actually any good. Urban Shadows comes in the shape of an absolutely beautiful looking hardback book that comes down to several hundred pages. In fact, we're going to, oh my goodness, find out where are the numbers. 303 plus the appendixes. Although it is full color, the art direction that they have chosen is very much like the one in the cover. Very, very purple. And my goodness, there are some masterpieces in here. Just the cover itself is brilliant. I love this character. I love this piece. She is sassy, she's challenging, she's strong. The whole thing over the skyline of a city is just absolutely brilliant. And the back of the book tells us a lot more with very few words as to what we're going to be finding inside. I love the graphic design of the icons for all the factions that we are going to find in this game, and we get a little bit of flavor text, we get a little bit of what the game is all about and what we find inside. Something I like also, the rating, 3 to 6 players, time 2 to 4 hours, and mature rating. This is a game with plenty of swearing inside, and it deals with mature themes, so think twice before giving it away to a very young person. Inside, again, the art direction is consistent, is beautiful, and it looks the part. The contents, believe me, they are a lot more approachable than they may look. If you follow my videos, you will know that I am not a particular fan of very thick tomes because I don't have time to read that much. And yet, everything has been structured in here and written in a way that makes it very easy to get to grips with, and the game itself is a lot simpler than it may look. Most of what's in the book is the lore, both for the characters and the world around it, which I approve of. So what do we have? We're going to get the City of Shadows first and foremost, after the introduction and what you're going to be needing to play, which is very good if you are new to the world of role-playing games. Otherwise, you're going to know everything that's already in here. City of Shadows is going to be describing you the city. This game comes with 2, Chicago and Santiago. Mortales, that would be us, human beings, and then the night power and the wild. We're going to get vampires, werewolves, fairies, wizards. It's that kind of, urban shadowy game. The fundamentals of play actually resume and summarize the rules very, very well indeed. This game is going to rely on movements, which is something that we have seen in other games indeed. But the difference in here is that these movements are going to allow for a great deal of flexibility and cinematic play, because it's going to leave everything to you, the player and the GM, to decide how they are going to work. We get some guidelines, but I will go into one of them in particular that I like. But it really gets down to how you want to use these movements at any given opportunity and time, basically. So, character creation, we're going from page 57 to page 68. That is not a lot. Character creation here is easy. It's just going to require that you understand the lore and what is the place of each character in the world itself, because we're going to be getting a number of playbooks, and those playbooks, and we're going from page 107 to page 176, those are the ones that are really going to shape the role within the game itself. We go into the Master of Ceremonies. This is all about GMing, and it's packed with really great advice, which I very much appreciate. Campaign play is also considered in the game, and then the two city guides, Chicago and Santiago. The layout of the book is very good indeed. The size of the font is huge enough that anyone will be able to read it easily, including myself, the perennial dyslexic. And the separation of paragraphs is also pretty good. So it makes it very easy to read, even in pages where there are a lot of words printed. As you can see, it comes with two different bookmarks, which are always very appreciated, and they add a sense of luxury to the whole book experience, which is absolutely brilliant. The illustrations, as I mentioned at the beginning, are very, very good. The art direction is very cohesive and consistent throughout the whole game, which is great. And every single illustration tells a story. Every single one of them, you could spend some time studying and get some ideas as to what they are meant to do within the game itself. I really like it. Also, something that I enjoy is how they have used the purple to differentiate between gameplay examples and the rules and the lore and everything else. So, the rules, how do they work? You roll 2d6s, add some stats, that's it. It's as simple as that. So where does this become truly interesting? Both the way that it has to work with the movements. Okay, this is a game in which politics play a ginormous part of the world itself. More than violence, more than anything else, this is all about politics. And they have made their best to make sure that that is very, very well reflected. How? With one particular thing that completely blew my mind when I learned about it. Debt. Yes, you are going to be indebted to different creatures. You are going to have people owing you things. And you're going to be able to play on that to ask for favors or to have to pay favors. What is so cool about it? That those favors that you may owe somebody may be against completely what your character is meant to be doing. So let's say that a human owes a favor to a vampire because they spare the life of their loved one in the past. When is that vampire going to come asking to you to repay that debt? Is the price going to be worth, getting rid of that debt? Is the payment even going to truly allow you to get rid of that debt? If you don't, what's going to happen? Are you going to seek help for somebody, therefore owning a debt to somebody else to help you against that vampire? Or maybe somebody powerful owes you a favor that you can call, but they can refuse, or maybe they won't even consider it a payment because, you know, they were looking forward to getting rid of that vampire. I think the whole concept of that is absolutely brilliant. I really love it because it makes it so easy to right away get something in the game to keep the story going. Conflict between players can be, you know, brought forward by using that. I just love it. I really love it. How do movements work? Let's take a look, for example, in page 74, because as you can imagine, there is violence in this game. You can turn into violence. One thing I liked about this is that it doesn't come with a massive list of weapons, of damage that those weapons can do. No, not at all. Not at all. You decide what you want to use with a weapon, whether it is your fists or the car that you're driving or anything, as long as it is violent. And that's going to have a number of harm points as long as they make sense to the story. So, for example, if you're going to hit somebody with your fists, that's going to have a 1 harm. But then you can also choose, like it says in here, you know, in your move, you choose what happens if you roll more than 10. And you can choose one of these 3 things. Like, for instance, you exert critical damage. And that gives you 1 more point. That means that you just haven't hit somebody with your fist. You've actually hit it here in the jaw and it's broken it. That kind of thing. You're going for the car and you want to do critical damage. That means that you're concentrating to make sure that you hit the creature full on. That's how these things are going to be playing. As far as I'm concerned, that is an absolutely brilliant way to let both the GMs and the players decide what is going to be the cinematic aspect of the whole thing and make it yours. I love that. I think that is absolutely brilliant. Character creation, both in terms of, let's open it by the right page. Please allow me. So let's go to page 57. Character creation is very simple. It really doesn't have an awful lot of it. You choose your playbook, you choose your name, your demeanor, find out what your character stats are, which are going to be blood, heart, mind, and spirit. Find out what your circle ratings are going to be, what's your influence, are you well known, not well known, so on and so forth, and then intro questions and gear. And the gear, well, just has to make sense, I suppose. Nothing too fantastic about it. And then if we take a look at the playbooks, which are in page 107. Oh, by the way, there are rules in here to create your own moves. The game comes with the core moves, but you can create more. You know, like some more moves would be figure somebody else, keeping your cool, like it is in here. Mislead and distract somebody, leaving somebody else. Lend a hand or get in the way of somebody else. Hit the streets. Steady a place of power. Overlook a harm. You know, do somebody a favor. Those are dead moves. So we go on to page 107, playbooks. What are we going to get? We get the aware. Everything is going to come with what are your relationships with another creatures, what was your kit, what can you do, what's your ethos, and that happens in absolutely every single one of those of these playbooks. You know, if you're a fae, everything is going to be detailed in here. If you're a hunter, an imp, the oracle, a spectre, the sworn, tainted. As you can see, there are plenty of them, and they can be played as and when, and they can have their own agendas. I said this to Mark when I interviewed him. If World of Darkness didn't exist, Urban Shadows would feel that right away. It plays differently than World of Darkness. Don't get me wrong, this is in the slightest the same game. But it does have, applied in a different way, the same emphasis on politics and role-playing than World of Darkness does. It is just as gritty. It is dark. Its reach is open, is very varied. And it does one thing that I really appreciate, and is that it sparks the imagination. It is very easy to watch a movie now and think, oh, I could use this here and I could use that there. And for me, that is brilliant. I have really enjoyed taking a look at Urban Shadows. I think it does its job very, very well indeed. And I only hope that they will be able to continue with the line and develop more books, because one of the things that I think could do very well with Urban Shadows is to apply different cultures to the setting itself. So we have Santiago and Chicago. I wonder what would Paris be like, or Bangladesh, Singapore. What kind of things are going to be in there? What kind of new creatures and new species could be added? How would those culture be able to mingle with the politics, and how would they play? I think that would be amazing to see explored. But if you're looking for something that would be fairly easy to read, not particularly heavy and dense on rules, but very rich in lore, Urban Shadows might be exactly what you are looking for. If you have already played this game, I would really love to hear what you have to say. So please leave me your comments down in the comment section, and I very much look forward to hearing what you have to say. But until the next time, thank you very much indeed for being there, and I will talk to you very, very soon. Take care.